Blessings! Geordie Jesus here. So when this car was unveiled at last year's Frankfurt Motor Show, we did a little video about it. My Arona! There it is, see? I'll never do anything better than that, so I'm not even going to try. This is the SEAT Arona, and it's the latest chapter in SEAT trying to make itself all youthy and relevant by making cars that are both those things, rather than what it used to do, which was say those things while churning out cars like this. And it doesn't get any more relevant than making a small crossover these days. It's like only the fastest growing segment in Europe. I feel like I say that all the time, but that's because where market trends go, manufacturers tend to follow. You'd think it would go the other way around, but it only takes one very popular car, a car like this one, say, and probably a focus group as well, to make manufacturers jump on a particular bandwagon. Ergo, at the moment, compact crossovers are the new big small thing. The advantages are obvious, especially from this seat here. You know, you get a tiny, highly maneuverable footprint, but also a feeling of tall spaciousness. As in, it feels safe and is versatile. And without having too detrimental an effect on handling characteristics. You can still make these things drive like a small hatch, roughly. And because it's a rapidly expanding market segment, with a good few models now, we can already see different characteristics from car to car. From ones that are primarily style-led, to ones that are more space and comfort-oriented, and more dynamic ones. So, what's the Arona? It's all three. Well, that's a neat conclusion to that little narrative, isn't it? Phew. Yep, as per the SEAT Arona, which came late to the crossover party, but in doing so became just about the best all-rounder there was, still is really. The Arona here has done the same thing. Yes indeed! As far as these things go, the Arona is all things to all people. I'm not going to explain how or why it's stylish, it just is, in my uneducated opinion. But it's also very spacious. For example, you'll see that all of its rivals have a boot capacity that's in the 300s, while the Arona here hits the 4s. And that makes it the biggest in the class. And moving on, in the cabin, what's happening? Well, that's my parade rained on. This does feel very spacious though, both in the boot capacity and cabin area senses. It's one of the few of these compact crossover type cars that you could actually use as your main family transport. Which is remarkable when you look at a few more numbers. Say, comparing the length and width of this car to that of a classic family hatchback. A Ford Focus, for example. Subjectively, it feels like a sizable car, and yet because it's actually very small, and it's a SEAT, it's got this overarching quality of compact maneuverability. Maneuverable compactness, if you like. You know, quite compact turning circle, good visibility because you sit high and the pillars are surprisingly thin. Rear ones not so much, like they're massive. And in a more basic sense than that even, it's got the standard Volkswagen Group driving position. As in, it doesn't matter if you're 6'4" or 4'6", you're gonna get comfortable in here. The drivetrains contribute to the maneuverable compactness party too, each of them being small and impressively responsive. Again, full Volkswagen Group specification. 3-cylinder petrols, couple of them, 1.6 litre diesel, couple of them too. And by far the most impressive one, the 1.5 TSI petrol, which despite being much more powerful and having one more cylinder than the 1 litre petrols, is actually in the same ballpark when it comes to efficiency. We're not driving that today though, we've got this one. And you know, you'll probably be tempted to get a diesel when you're in the SEAT showroom and Darren the salesperson's telling you stuff like, "Yeah, you'll easily get 70 miles per gallon round the doors in this baby, man." But you won't get that. And this 3-cylinder petrol stuff is much quieter and much more enjoyable. Same old story really. So, other driving characteristics. You know, it's kind of fun, but in that sort of predictable and slightly characterless way that a lot of Volkswagen Group cars are these days. It's a lot like Superman's hair. You know, you can tell someone's trying to make it exciting and a bit edgy, but really it's just very, very slick. And actually, although it does handle with the kind of slick predictability that makes it very easy to drive a bit more quickly, most of what makes the Arona exciting, or interesting at least, is in the more prosaic areas of the car ownership experience. Like how it rides quite well. You know, in the pantheon of these taller cars, it's on the slightly firmer side, but generally it's very comfortable. And how the door pockets and the glovey are both quite big. And how the sat-nav is devastatingly user-friendly. And how it's 5-star safe with a staggering 95% score for adult occupancy from the people at European NCAP. And how you get a lot of equipment as standard. Like the starting price looks a bit on the high side compared to all these guys here. But the 16.5 grand that you'll spend on an SE car gets you a lot of stuff. Really, a lot of the equipment that you can read here could easily have been on the options list. You know, twin boot floor, alloy wheels, corner and fog lights, contrasting roof colours, touchy touchscreen, all that stuff. Of course, the more you pay, the more you get. But I reckon 99% of people that want to buy an Arona will be perfectly happy with a base car. And for that reason, we won't bother going through the trims. Plus, it saves me a lot of work. And anyway, Darren can do that when you go to the dealership. Whoopah! Couple of foibles though. If you've got a big cup in the cup holder, it gets in the way of the handbrake. And there's no storage box in the centre console either. It's got nowhere to put your Kit Kat wrappers. And as neat and coherent as this cabin design is, it's all a bit like Scottish weather. It's constant grey. But you know, generally you're looking at the best all-rounder there is in the compact crossover segment. Probably. Not the most exciting, no matter what SEAT might think, but very easy to live with and conspicuously absent of any major weakness. Pretty much standard SEAT stuff these days. It's a shame that really, because a few years ago it looked like SEAT might become a really exciting brand. Oh well. Thanks for watching, please watch our other stuff and please hit subscribe and go to HJ for all the car reviews you could ever want to read. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Bye! I'm just talking to the wall, you know, there's nobody there.